Hello, fellow brother ambassadors, dear family members. Again, we are back and it's more than exciting, guys. When you see me smiling from molar to molar, you know that there is something new. Watch out who is here with us, guys. I am so excited. Thank you all for joining, guys. Do well to share because someone is here to share their excitement all the way from the beginning right to this point where we are sitting here now. And this is no one else but our own Pam Turner. Pam, very welcome to Empowerment Talk.
Wow, thank you so much, Comfort. I am, what a privilege. What a privilege. I feel like I've flown all the way across the ocean. Um, very honored to be here. I, I'm not a huge techie type person. So I'm going to sort of just tell my story about how I got to where I am today. Some of
Yeah.
it takes me back a few hundred years, but it's part of the story. So, oh hi, Jean. Oh, I'm going to say, you know what? Now I want to say hi to everybody. Hello to
I
everybody.
know.
I'm so
Don't worry.
honored to be here.
I'll always give you time. There's so many of them here. Guys, don't look on the screen. So, guys, don't write exciting things. Just listen to Pam
I
and
won't
let's
look.
have a chat.
I'll look at my notes instead.
Yes. So Pam, if you can, I understand that you joined on passive in 2019. Am I right?
I did right at the very
Yes.
beginning,
Ye-
January 13th.
Exactly. So from my chat with you for the past couple of days, I've read a lot of excitement and joy and all of those. So tell us, how has the journey been from 2019 to here? What has been happening and stuff? Or if you would like, maybe briefly about where you were before you popped in 2019. It's all yours, Pam. Go for it.
Wow, thank you so very much. Yeah, so yes, prior to January 2019, just a little, just to bring you up to that point, in
Yes.
2012, I retired from my job. I was a driver's ed teacher, and that was in Canada. And I went to Virginia to help my sister Judy because my mom wasn't doing great, and Judy was having a little bit of difficulty handling her. So I said, "Okay, come on, I'll bring my team a muscle." No, I'm only kidding. Um, so anyway, so that was the beginning of my retirement, and I was really blessed to be able to spend about 4 months straight with my mom, and the last time I saw her, we had taken a trip from Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C., out to Glacier Park in Montana. And we had a fabulous trip. And I left her there in Montana with my other sister, Lana. And I traveled back home, and I ended up having to go back to work. So I was a gardener. I actually around about it. I got paid $18 an hour to pick weeds, and I was in another business as like online, and my dear sweet friend Robin said, she just threw it out there to a bunch of people, hey, do you want more eyes on your product? And I said, yes please. So she told me about On Passive. Well, now I didn't even look into it. I didn't see those two videos, not at first. I um I went to I went and signed up because I trusted Robin 100%. She knows her stuff. Anyways, then as I started to learn a little bit about what was going on, I talked to my sister again, and I said, Judy, I said, you got to get into this. And she goes, I don't know, Pammy. And I said, no, listen. I said, look at Orville and Wilbur Wright. I said, well, look at that funny flying machine, and now look at the stealth bombers and rockets to all over the place. And I said, you know how we used to stand in almost in a closet at the bottom of the stairs, talking on Grandma and Grandpa's phone, and you're stuck to the wall, and it was the dial thing. And I said, look, we drive down the freeway now, hands free. I said, it's technology, Jude. So she got into it as well. So, but that's another story. But anyway, I grew up with technology, but I didn't realize other people didn't have what I had. and because my dad was an aeronautics engineer,
Okay.
and there was quite a lot of technical things in our home that I didn't like. Again, I didn't realize that I was a little bit spoiled. But anyway, so carrying back on passive, I I was starting to listen to webinars, and I got into On Passive Nation and started listening to the lives, and I heard those two first videos, and like Ashby Farr, you just got to fall in love with the guy, right? Like
I know.
he is got such a big heart.
Right.
He wears it on his sleeve. He can't hide it. Like
Yeah.
there is no more honest man that I've ever met than Ash Mufara. Like
Right.
it's all out there. But anyway, so yeah, so I started listening and learning more technology type stuff and seeing bigger pictures and mind blown. And that as I started, oh God, there's just so many millions of things I want to say. Excuse me. Um,
Yes, yes.
so yeah, so one of the things that like so many little light bulb moments. One of the things that I really value about On Passive is we can do whatever we want. We can work it hard, or
Right.
we can let the business work for us.
Exactly.
And
Before you go to that, Pam, before you
oh,
go
okay.
to that, yeah, there's surely something I'd like you to elaborate on because you were so on this. You were like, one thing, the journey has been the best, and then the camaraderie and the friendships and so on. Can you touch on that? Because this has blessed a lot of people to so share your experience, how much you have learned by meeting a lot of people and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of jump around a bit. I get excited.
no, it's all right. You're doing well.
Keep me in line, comfort. Keep me in line. um, yeah, I started because I've got a few friends that just followed me on in. They said, "Okay, I'll do it too." I started create just putting together a few coffees. Hey, anybody in the area? Let's have a coffee. Well, it was never humongo. I never had a great big. We were always in a park, either Tim Hortons in Canada. We have coffee shops called Tim Hortons after the hockey player. So we would go to Tim Hortons, or we would go to a little place and meet up. And we had small groups, sometimes three, four, but a couple of times we had really, really good groups. Three different situations we had. I was calling it picnic in the park, and I would tell everybody the first time I got together, and it was Polly that hooked me up. She said, "I'm going to be in Toronto," and so there was Polly Cherry, Sandra Fletcher, and Listra, my friend Liz. Oh gosh, I'm going to really ruin it because I don't remember everybody that was there, but so many wonderful people. It was a lot of fun. The second time I did that particular park, we did I said potluck in the park. Everybody bring a dish and bring food in the dish, of course, but bring your favorite dish. Yeah, put food in it.
I
Um,
know.
anyway, so again, and that time we had several people again. We had Robert Oakes, we had Harry. I'll butcher his
Wow.
last name if I even try. But again, more and more people. Rindy Millenbach, Wendy Charlebois, all these wonderful people that were there.
Mhm.
Again, Listra was there, and Sandra didn't make it. There was a few other. Michaud. Diane Michaud was there. First
Okay.
time I had ever met her. And I'm
Yeah.
calling them out because they deserve a little bit too because they've been a part of it. Um, anyway, so just the camaraderie,
Right.
the the hugs are endless.
You know what, Pam? You just made me jealous right now because I've been there too since 2020, but I've never had this, luck to meet a lot of unpassive people till the past couple of months where we've been in Manchester together or we've been in Worcester. So I think it's been a wonderful journey from your own end, and I think that's the whole joy about everything. So
Hmm.
one of the things that I'd like you to touch on, because you started earlier on and I held you back because I just wanted to get this part too, the
Okay.
social part of it. So the growth of Unpassive is real. Some of us joined. I joined 2020. You were there since 2019. You have watched Unpassive metamorphose from somebody's voice you never saw to finally seeing the person and just telling us about something, and finally to where we are now, the Burj Khalifa extravaganza that started in March 2022 till all of those, the partnership with Bein Sport, the crazy parade of with the cars of last week and stuff. Can you walk us through that? How do you feel going through all of this and watching it grow from stage to stage, from one top to the other?
Well, like I was sort of saying, as I started to understand it more and more light bulb moments, you talk about going from one top to another. I've been on cloud nine for at least three of the 4.5 years. um, the Burj Khalifa blew me away. I had
Yes,
no way. It just it was speech. I was speechless afterwards. It's mind boggling.
I
And then
know.
you think, and that's big. That was huge, and we own 2 floors, etc. And then, oh, and now we have a wrap around our metro station. Like, oh darn, what else can we do now?
Right.
And like you said, and then Egypt, and then the sports cars, and it just continues to keep getting bigger and
Yeah.
better. And if everybody, like a lot of times, I'll take one little piece of it and think, wow, and then I think, oh, but that's just one piece. There's like 50 pieces.
I know.
It is. It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
It's like for my little 72-year-old brain. I'll tell you what, it's hard to wrap it around.
Wow.
And speaking of that, we were talking to an 84-year-old lady yesterday, Carol. I'm sorry, I forget her last name. Now, there's a sharp cookie. She's in Florida. What a sharp woman she is. She had me put to shame with her
Wow.
technology
Wow.
knowledge. It was great. But yeah, meeting people. And I've been helping a lot, like as with the migration and the transitioning over and everything. I've
Mm-hmm.
met so many wonderful people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And we've become a family. Like it
Yep.
doesn't matter when you started. Like we have a core group that we've all kind of spread out and helped others and met others and become friends. But oh my gosh, it just keeps getting bigger and better. It's
No.
never. It's I love it.
Exactly. It's just so lovely, Pam. Earlier on, you started saying something. You said you can do anything and everything with Unpassive in Unpassive. So given that there are some people who might be watching us finding Unpassive for this first time, what would you want you to understand by that? You can do anything in Unpassive, everything.
Well, you know what? You can follow your dreams. If someone has a real hankering for playing the piano or playing in the garden or anything, you can
Wow.
promote that. You can get help from other people that way. Like with with what on passive is creating, it has what has been created, where everything's all together in one spot, and we can just click 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 and be where we want to be. And but I know that's not quite answering your question.
Definitely it is.
Follow your dreams, everybody. Follow your passion.
Yes.
Do what makes you happy, and share that. That's the biggest thing.
Mhm.
You have to share. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Carol Peterson Riley was the lady's name. Sharp cookie. Um,
Thank you, Kevin.
um, yeah. Now I lost my track. See?
No, yes, sure. You were trying to say that people should share their passion because
Oh,
the time is
absolutely.
now. On Passive is that platform where you can share your passion, that thing that, is that where you were?
I was, but also the fact that this opportunity has been, or this business has been shared with us, we need to share it with other people. And that's the only way we're going to fix all the broken things in the world, like the broken
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And I don't expect it to be instant. It scares me that I won't get to see all of it because I'm getting too old for that. But
No,
I,
you are
I
not.
know that we're going to.
Don't tell, I'm not joking, Pam. If I was just like, wow, she's really 70, 72. So keep going. There's still a long way to go. Forget it.
Well, I sure hope so. I
Yeah,
hope so.
trust
I
in
just,
God.
you know what? I'm very aware of everybody's health issues, and it makes me scared of me. Like because we see so many that need their prayers and our prayers and things, and I'm not going to go through the list because it's long.
Right. I know.
But that's what makes me have more respect for my age and understanding that we don't last forever. We don't know what
It's true.
day our number is going to be up, but
That's very
it's
true.
going to happen. So I want to do as
We
much as
all
I
just
can.
sure, we just trust God for everything. There's something you said which struck me, and I want to connect it to where you started earlier on. You have just said we are going to fix all the broken things, the broken people in the world. Meanwhile, earlier on, I know that you talked about some time you take time off to help your sister because mom was not feeling so good and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That lies deep down the heart. That's just the way to go. So talking about fixing the world and stuff like that. So how one of Mr. Mufare's passion is to watch us give back to the community. So how do you intend to give back to your community to help to fix the broken things, the broken people and stuff like that?
Um, for the community, I'm pretty new here, and that was part of my story too. I need to get Kevin's help for some of that because I don't know, but he does. He's lived here all his life, so that's good. I want to be able to give back to my own community where I came from as well.
Yeah. Sure.
During COVID, there were so many establishments that were helping. There was one place in particular. I came from Keswick, Ontario, and there's a place called River Edge, River Edge Restaurant. They were giving out meals. It's a restaurant. They require money coming in
Yeah.
to keep the place open, and they were handing out meals to the so many people because they couldn't work. They had no place to go. They had no money. And when I became aware of that, that's actually in pardon me, 2020, I think. I don't know, I don't remember now, but when I was on Julia Milo, and I was telling them then that I wanted to start with the River Edge restaurant because they were giving out when people couldn't fend for themselves. They were handing out food, and a lot of establishments, and I'm sure a lot of places around here too, same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
and with that one, like I say, I need Kevin's help with that. But my goal
Mm-hmm.
is to talk to some pastors, get into some churches, and find out who needs what, who needs assistance. Is it the church that needs assistance? And how can we organize that? We've been a little bit not on the ball to find out what can the churches do. Like I don't know all the terminology, but with the taxes and everything, what can
Yes.
we've got to find out a lot of information before we can just flat out give a founder's position away or set them up as a reseller. We they need to be able to speak
I
up
know.
for the money they receive too, right? So
You
it's a challenge, and we're learning every day.
Definitely, we're learning every day. The good thing is that we are there for one another because I'm just happy that you keep mentioning Kevin because, and he readily, I know he is there to help you with your immediate community. And the sweetness about it all is that your community here is not limited. Each time we talk about our community here, think about your neighbor in the Bible. Guys, I'm not preaching the word of God here. I'm just trying to refer to something I know much, that I know better. The community here is just like your neighbor in the Bible. The neighbor has nothing to do with someone who lives near you, right? So I think that's the same thing here. And we will do everything, we will do anything because we are there for one another. And Pam, one of the things that gives us the whole joy is the fact that we are graduating or we have already graduated, from giving handouts to empowering people. Do you feel like
Mhm.
that too? Yeah.
I do. That was another thing that Kevin and I had talked about long ago was what I would like to do is travel around and go to small communities and just stay for, I don't maybe have a motorhome or something, but
Right.
stay with the people for a little bit, maybe a week, and then find out what is their need. Where did we need to help them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think we all are thinking the same, Pam, because I'm a kind of rural person. I'm just like, if I visit any country, whether I've ever been there or not, I just want to go to the rural area
Yeah,
because when you
yeah,
get
yeah.
there,
I'm
you
not a big
first,
concrete
yes,
jungle type person. No.
no, when you get there to those rural places, you meet some sweet grandmas, you meet some, some very special people. You help
Hmm.
someone who will never see you again, but then you leave them happily ever after.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the joy of it all, Pam. So yeah. So I think apart from that, any choice or any particular product that strikes you so far, what do you think about our baby O Connect as we wait for it to go commercial?
So I love Oh Bless. Everybody says Oh Bless, and I agree. But I
Yep.
need to say, this last few weeks with O Connect has really been a mind blower. Just learning how what all of the what we have to offer, just learning all of it, but helping other people as well, like, okay, well, this button is this and this button, and watching the beta testing and fixing any of the little commas that are out of place, etc. It's I like Oh Bless because of what we're going to be able to do for the world, what they're going to be, what the world is going to be able to have in their hand, and securely. That's a big one
Yes,
too,
yes, yes.
security. you,
Exactly.
with people selling our names and our information, it
Mm,
makes me sick, absolutely sick. And
indeed.
so again, I'll passive to the rescue.
Yeah, sure. So I'm just happy, Pam. It was such a blessing, a wonderful blessing having you here. However, yeah, before we end the show, I always like you, my guests, to say at least one thing because as we speak, there are some people who are supposed to be brand ambassadors, but they careless. There are others who are watching us and they're trying to get to know a bit more about Unpassive. So what would be your last word, last message, either to whoever of your choice?
Whoever's watching this, whether you are already a founder or thinking about becoming a customer, a reseller, a user, my suggestion is go 100% into it. Don't hesitate. If you're already a founder and you haven't engaged a little bit, engage a little bit more than you have. And if you're already doing a bit, do a bit more than that. It's the only way you're going to learn. I've got, again, my friend Wendy. She's been helping me sometimes, and I was helping her. She was having a panic all the time. But she helps me now. So, and that's really cool. But if you're not in on passive, if you have not registered to get your free O mail, O net, and O trim, you must do it. It's important because you don't have to even give your credit card information. You don't. All you have to do is get a free O mail and check it out, and get
Right.
your 14-day free trial of O Connect and check that out. You won't be sorry. You'll be glad you did.
Exactly. Exactly. Indeed, you'd be glad you did because, like Michael Williams says, this is the only business you would ever need. Yes. So thank you, Pam. It was a wonderful time. And guys, please, if you're watching us for the first time or you're meeting this video later on, do go ahead, do us a favor and share. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. And why not share the excitement? And thank you. Let Pam know how much she did. Thank you for all the appreciations. Even those who are watching now, let Pam know that she did brilliantly well and definitely we're expecting her back really soon. Thank you, Pam, and see you
Thank
soon. Thank
you,
you,
Comfort.
family.
Thank you, everybody that came along. That was great. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thanks, Pam. Bye, guys. Thank you.